we shouldn't have extended Dak Prescott. If you've been watching the latest mock drafts and the latest news coming out of the draft, which could be completely smoke and have no bearing on what's actually going to happen, but according to the latest drafts and rumors, the Houston Texans are out on CJ Stroud. And apparently, a lot of people are out on CJ Stroud. I have seen him falling, even this one with Sports Illustrated's latest mock. We have CJ Stroud falling not just away from 2, no one trading up to 3. He gets past 4 at the Colts, past Seattle Seahawks, past the Lions, past the Raiders, past the Falcons, the Bears, falling all the way to 10. And this is assuming that the Titans trade up 1 spot. So this is assuming that multiple bidders are trying to trade up for CJ Stroud. And if you remember correctly, in our Go Get CJ Stroud mock draft, we were trading up to 4. Okay? And don't get me wrong, Colts would be stupid to like Levis over Dak Prescott before now. But because, and remember, like we were talking about this a while ago, the Cowboys liked CJ Stroud. And it was a surefire thing. He's going number 2. Then he was going number 1. And now he is tumbling down the draft boards. But as of right now, it is impossible to get out of Dak Prescott's contract. No, not impossible. You just have to take a $60 million bath. Because to trade him, it's going to cost $60 million because he restructured his contract. Unbelievable. And again, they just pushed more money back and back and back. And unless they plan on getting rid of a bunch of people in the upcoming years, I mean, we've still got to re-sign. We've got to re-sign Tony Pollard next year because he's on a franchise tag. We're going to have to re-sign, I believe, we're going to have to re-sign, Trevon Diggs. Okay. CeeDee Lamb. We've got Micah Parsons coming up to be eligible for extension pretty soon. I mean, we've got people to pay that are be getting a lot of money. And again, we could have gotten out of this Dak Prescott contract. It was a possibility. Now, it could turn out that we get there Thursday night and CJ Stroud goes number 1. It's no big deal. It doesn't matter. But can you imagine if it doesn't go that way? If it goes Bryce Young, Tyree Wilson, we know the Cardinals aren't going to draft a quarterback. And the Indianapolis Colts don't pick CJ Stroud. And you've got to be thinking, they may not have wanted Dak Prescott. And they may have already had conversations with Dallas. But with the track record of Jerry Jones, I just don't think that conversation was had. I don't think he would ever trade Dak Prescott. As soon as he made a commitment, oh, that's my guy. Yeah, I found him in the 4th round. I mean, he's a starting quarterback. And it's just, instead of going, we can't pay a above average quarterback great money, let's reset on a rookie contract. Just the possibility of having that happen. No, full commit, even when he wasn't willing to commit to him before. But the possibility that we could have traded into the 4th spot, shoot, even 7, 8, you could have traded into 8. I bet you could have traded into 8. Couldn't have traded into 10. But if he had fallen past 10 and then gotten to the Titans at 11, I think you could have made a trade there too. But to think that we wouldn't be paying, what's his contract? His cap number is $26 million this year, $60 million next year. You would have gotten out of $60 million next year. $35 million the year after that. I mean, can you imagine the people we could have paid? We could have kept Amari Cooper. We should have kept him anyway, but just going in, like I told you guys, I knew they wouldn't, but I was really hoping they would at least have the option. But we don't have the option anymore. We're gonna have to sit and take who comes, and hopefully we don't take Bijan. That would, again, all of the draft depends on what they feel about their current team. If they tag Tony Pollard intending to let him walk, then take Bijan. I'm cool with that. But you have to be making bets on what their thought process is. And so if we come down here, Bijan goes at 18. Matthew Bertrand's way of an overgive. Same with Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, in this mock draft, receivers are high, but it's the same for Jahmyr Gibbs. If Jahmyr Gibbs is there on the first round and he's the best prospect available, and we are planning on letting Tony Pollard walk, then fine. It's a useful pick. We're going to keep him for 5 years. That's fine. But if you're going to try and re-sign Tony Pollard, what is the point of taking a running back in the first round? Now we walk down here. We have Michael Mayer going, and I realize everyone likes the idea of a Jason Witten 2.0, but realistically, if you could get Jason Witten, even in his prime, to come back right now, would we really take that? The offense of the NFL is changing. The top, let's see, who was in the playoffs? We had Travis Kelce, we had Njoku, like all the top tight ends that went into the playoffs were all amazing athletes. They were statistical outliers on what a good tight end is. Picking a very prototypical base package tight end is not something I want to take in the first round. And if you look here, it goes afterwards. Jordan Addison is still on the board. Will McDonald's still on the board. I would not be opposed to taking edge because I want to get out of this DeMarcus Lawrence contract. Like, I want to get out of it. Okay, cutting him next year is only going to cost us $2.5 million. And if we decide to cut him, if we cut him, it's not going to cost us $2.5 million. We'll have 17, but it's going to save us money. And again, we get him off the contract. We save $7 million the next year after that. I want to get him out. I think he's old, or better, not this year. If we trade him, we save and we get something back. I would rather trade, but I'm looking for younger blood at edge anyway. We have Sam Williams. I'd like to be able to move Micah Parsons around a little bit more instead of kind of relegating him somewhere. But we no longer have that option of getting rid of that Dak Prescott contract. Just period. Because they restructured him. Restructures turn bad deals into worse ones. It saves you a year. Depending on how they work, maybe it saves you 2 years. But 2 years to do what? Like, what is the point? You can't sign anyone to major long-term deals because you're going to screw yourself in the back end because you just moved all the money to the back end. So again, Cowboys are limiting their options like they've always done, especially around Dak Prescott. They wait forever to re-sign him. The market goes up. They put themselves in a hole. They have to sign him back, refuse to let him go, to let him walk. So they sign him to an outrageous contract. And now again, we're stuck. There's not even a chance of getting out of it and resetting our clock. So be on the lookout for the next mock draft. I'll be uploading my latest and last mock drafts. So until next time, guys, see you later.